Hi, welcome to Lucky Stones. I'm Chris and I've got the most exciting adventure to take you on this week. I'm in Yorkshire for the very first time. This is amazing. It's the early Jurassic. There's loads of places to go. We're starting off at Whitby, and then over the course of the next few days we'll be headed to all sorts of different places. I can't wait to take you with us. And yeah, I mean, this part of the beach we're looking for dinosaur footprints. I might have something exciting to show you in a minute. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the video, and well, let's hope you find some really good stuff. So the deposits here are about 180-ish million years old, so fairly early Jurassic. And we've got a mixture of a marine environment, which is chock full of Ammonites and Belemnites and things like that, and little bits which contain land, which have got plant debris beds and in some cases dinosaur footprints. This is the nicest one I've ever found, and obviously the first one I've ever found in Yorkshire. But what we've got here is a theropod dinosaur footprint. Oh, I'm chuffed to pieces. Mark has helpfully left a glove for scale, and look at that. Can you see the toes? We've got all three toes showing. We've got the big claw at the front there, that's his middle toe, and then we've got his left hand toe, and then its right hand toe here, just underneath there. This is clearly a theropod as opposed to a plant-eating dinosaur. You can tell that from the shape of the toes. Now, it looks like it won't be able to be excavated, but we've got a video and we've got some photos. Isn't that lovely? So there's Whitby village over in the distance. Now where I'm stood at the moment, just down the way from the footprint we found, up there is Whitby Abbey. And here are the lovely cliffs, and what a beautiful day we've had today. These are the blocks to look through, and all of these rocks here, wonderful Jurassic strata. I'm so excited to be at Yorkshire. You see those marks on those two large bits of stone? They're ripple marks, and that would have been sort of just near the beach edge, or the edge of a lake or something like that. Moderately tidal, certainly a little bit of ripples. That's rather cool, isn't it? Bit of Jurassic Beach. So we're just walking back and going to see if we can see some pyrite ammonites. And this is where you can see fossils just in the surface. Can't collect them, but they're lovely to see. And we've got a couple of Belemnites down here. We've got half decent sized one there, a little bit of fragma cone showing, which is what the body chamber was, and there's another one there. Let's see if we can find an ammonite. They're mostly crushed completely flat, but there's some lovely golden colours. Yeah, we've got another Belemnite down there. Oh, we've got some bivalves here, just little ones. So yeah, typical Jurassic marine environment here. Not very much luck. This is weird. I could have sworn there were loads of them when we were on the walk out. That didn't work out well, did it? So eventually, as promised, here are some of the ammonites that you can find. They're all crushed flat and preserved in pyrite. Some of them are much prettier than others, but they're incredibly common. Got some more bits and pieces over there. Another little piece over here. Yeah, basically this pavement is covered in ammonites, and so you can't collect them, they're just nice to look at. And that's precisely the warning I've just been shouted at by Mark. As you can see here, when the tide starts coming in, it comes in at a pace. So we've just got to get past this little bit here, and then we're back safe and we won't be cut off. So when you're out on a tidal beach, do take care everyone, because sometimes the tide comes in an awful lot quicker than you're expecting. So this is the second morning of my Yorkshire adventure, and we are walking down a massive hill on our way to Brunswick Bay, which you can see down there in the distance. We've got an absolutely gorgeous day. We've been so lucky with the weather. Not so lucky with the parking. We're up in the farmer's field right at the top, but that's all good. But look at the view, it's gorgeous. And I'm really excited. At the beach level, and where we're headed is all the way round to that end point there. And we're going to be hunting for ammonites and all the Jurassic goodies from the marine environments. And going that way, apparently you get to Port Mulgrave, but I'm not familiar with that. So we're going this way. It's going to be a great day. So we're about halfway along the beach now, and we're just getting to the point where the geology changes, and the grey shales are the bits that we're looking through. They're the bits that we hope has got the bits and pieces to find, maybe some ammonite nodules. If we're really lucky, some marine reptile bone. These start about here and they carry on all the way around there. So we walked up to the cliff, keeping a safe distance, but we're going to start hunting for fossils now, having had a beautiful walk in the sunshine from over there. Right, so these are the grey shales, and we're hoping to find some nodules, but you're not allowed to hammer in the cliffs because they are protected and we don't want to ruin them for everyone else. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and look through those boulders, and hopefully some nodules will be down there because that's where you're allowed to collect them from, and we'll see how we get on. Well, this is quite interesting. What we've got here is a flattened ammonite deathbed. And they're all completely crushed flat and preserved in pyrites. And then right next to it, on a very slightly lower level, we've got some bivalves. These are oyster types, and these are the imprints of those all the way along there. That's a nice bit of shale, isn't it? So I'm still on the hunt for the ammonite nodules. We've seen plenty of flat ones, but what we've got here is really quite interesting. We've got a belemnite deathbed. We've got them of various sizes and different orientations. A couple of absolutely massive ones going into the shale there. A couple of slightly smaller ones, and they all seem to be imbricated in the same sort of orientation to do with the current, perhaps. And that has just got the tip of one and the hole showing where it came from. That's quite interesting. And today is the final day of my adventures in Yorkshire. We're at a little village called Staiths, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be walking around that headland and all the way around to Port Mulgrave, which is going to be a fantastic walk. We're going to be looking for ammonites, we're going to see if we can find those cannonball nodules and see what else is about. So our first bit of adventure is going to be getting up onto that platform there and following it round towards the end. These cliffs have not got much in the way of fossils in them, so we're not going to be hunting here. We're going to be waiting until we get round the corner for the good stuff. So there's Staiths over in the background. Admire this beautiful day. But look how gorgeous this bay is. This is lovely. And that's the headland that we're going past. And right at that point there is the start of the grey shales, and that's where we're going to be hunting for the ammonites. So a little bit of a walk, but what a day to be doing it. Well, this is the first block that I've found that has got signs of life on it. What we've got here is a mass mortality plate. We've got some tiny shells, some medium-sized shells, and then we've got a belemnite over there, an imprint of another belemnite there. Moving over here, we have a couple more belemnites, a little bit of a pectin, and 2 or 3 more belemnites. So a little slice of the Jurassic seabed. So we've come around the headland, and this is the good bit. We've got the grey shales up there, and that's where the DAC nodules might fall out from. So we shall hunt at the bottom of the cliffs carefully, and then those beds dip all the way down here, and around down there they reach sort of beach level. So all the way across here we've got the possibility to find DAC nodules and some of the other nodules, the big cannonball ones, and we have the beach entirely to ourselves. So clearly we're not the first people to come here and have a collect. So someone's been along and bashed this rock to pieces, and they found this and obviously deemed it not good enough to collect. But that is a little Dactylioceras embedded in the rock. Right, that'll pop that in the bag. Well, I found my first nodule. It's obviously been out of the cliff for quite a while because it's rusted out and is a bit beaten up and it's been a bit eroded. But this is a Dac nodule. And you can see the side of the ammonite there. And in the fresh ones, you can prep this off, or sometimes it pops off and it reveals a complete centre. I don't think this one's got one left. It's a bit beaten up, but that's what we're looking for. Cool. A load of stuff just came down from the cliff. Whew, I'm glad I am at least 10 metres away from the cliff, because if I'd been underneath that, I'd have a bloody big headache now. So these cliffs are very dangerous, and whew, that gave me a bit of a shock. So this bit we're walking along here, this is called the Pectin Bed, and it'll become very obvious why it's called the Pectin Bed very shortly, because they're everywhere. They're the most common fossils in this bed, hence the name of the bed. This is sort of a geological marker so that you know where you are in the sequence. So this is part of the Middle Lias, so still lower Jurassic but a little bit higher up, and the bits that we're looking for are mostly the base of the Upper Lias. But look at the size of that pectin. I know it's not complete, but that's massive. As well as pectins, there's all sorts of other fossils here. We've got a belemnite down there, another imprint of a belemnite there with the phragmocone, and loads of other bivalves as well. So there's tons and tons of fossils to see as we walk through. Well, I'm just about to sit down and have lunch, but before I do, let's show you a couple of bits of Jurassic wood. We've got quite a large tree trunk there and a little branch. Maybe they were from the same tree, who knows. And that's still in the pectin beds. So I've only got the one nodule so far. Hopefully some sandwiches will help with the ammonite luck. And it turns out sandwich does bring ammonite luck. It's not a complete one, but just down here we've got a tiny little bit of the outsider one. Well, this is easily the best one I found so far. I'm absolutely delighted with this. It is just down here. But have a look at that. This was just showing on the beach. Oh, fantastic. So I've just been searching through a couple of rocks and we've had a little bit of luck. Wow, it's a beautiful, beautiful little Elegantus. It's just sort of the imprint in the centre of one, but isn't that gorgeous? Oh, that's definitely going to be on a shelf in my house soon. Oh, I'm well pleased with that. Oh, this is quite interesting. What we've got here is an ammonite preserved, but it's preserved longitudinally. So it's going down vertically into the nodule there, and see the bulbous bit at the end there, that was his body chamber, and then those bits at the bottom there would have been previous body chambers. That's rather pretty, isn't it? Success! This is not a difficult spot to find. Right down here we have a Dac in a nodule. That's pretty cool. Oh yes, this is a twofer. We've got another little one inside there and a slightly bigger one here. Oh, fantastic. Oh, I'm pleased with that. I'll have to see if we can get these prepped up. A lovely twofer nodule from my first trip to Yorkshire. Ah, fantastic. So what we've got here is a Daci that's in the shale. It looks like it might be a bit crumbly. We're going to see if it's got any nodulization to it. It's just popped out in little pieces. I mean, oh goodness, it's a very pretty centre. Yeah, this Mark did say that this layer is, if it's got nothing in, it's quite likely to be crumbly. The actual nodule beds are about 4 feet above this one, so I think we'll leave this one for the tide. On to the next. Well, I thought I'd found an ammonite, but what I've actually found is a complete bivalve. So I'm going to carefully chip that out, and that should be perfect on both sides. And then it just lifts out of the shale, and we've got both sides of an absolutely gorgeous Jurassic bivalve. I'll find out the species later. I've borrowed the book, but isn't that lovely? Oh, I'm dead chuffed with that. So Mark spent the last 10 minutes digging this nodule out, and he's going to give it a whack. Well, not all the nodules contain goodies, but this one, as Belemnites go, that's a fat one. So we've got a little DAC here. Gonna have a little go at it, see if it comes out in one piece. Hopefully we'll get lucky this time. Well, it looks like the other half might be in there, so that'll easily glue back together. Let's see how I get on with the other half. Oh, that's a shame. The other half is only popping out in bits. So unfortunately we've only ended up with a half, but it wasn't fully nodularised, so that's not an entire surprise, but that was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Well, the time has come to turn around and head back off the beach before we get cut off by the tide. But I've had such a fantastic time in Yorkshire. It's absolutely gorgeous. The locals are dead friendly. I've got to be honest, the Middle Earth Tavern in Whitby is a fantastic pub. I would highly recommend that. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I have, being on the beach and filming it. Massive thanks to Mark and Mark for their generosity in showing me around various places and to driving me there and back as well. I've barely scratched the surface. There's one thing is certain, I will be back on the Yorkshire coast fossil hunting at some point soon. Well, if you've liked the video, like and subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Join me a bit later on the beach and we'll see what we can find. Take care everyone, bye bye.